trauma and compounding family guilt. This is some serious stuff. We are all suffering from the latent effects of the taboos inside Judeo-Christian and Muslim religions. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, great. Good. All right. Sweet. So, a lot of these are called monotheistic religions. Monotheistic religions are the religions that don't like Gnostics. Gnostic people like the planet and they like the earth and this whole mother concept. All right, of respecting this whole feminine deity of creation. You know, and monotheistic religions are more about this kind of masculine creator. And things got pretty bad in history where some of these monotheistic religions were they killed Gnostics and stuff. They didn't like people worshipping the earth. They wanted people to worship a masculine creation figure. And a lot of that has led to a lot of the gender relationships we have in our culture, where the monotheistic religions make people think that men are the boss, right? Whereas it's not like that at all. However, we have that compounding energy in our society from these religions that we're all still suffering from. You know, if you're not suffering from the results of these religions, you're really lucky. If you're in a culture where you're still operating with loving the earth and in that constant state of gratitude for the garden and the co-creation of the world you're in and understanding your complete connection to everything around you, awesome. You know, however, we live in a culture where we have a lot of fear, shame, guilt and anxiety around our sexualities, for example. So here's an example. Sometime in Europe, like ages ago, there was like mostly just the Catholic Church all the way through Europe. Okay? And there was a dude called Martin Luther who started questioning the church, and it led to a huge split in the Catholic Church, and this led to Puritan Christianity and Catholic Christianity. Puritans thought that the Catholic Church was all too colourful or too distracting from the religion, and they went around and burned priests at the stake and smashed all these churches. I mean, the stained glass was so amazing, the colours of these churches, that no one actually even knows how to make it anymore. You know, it died out, they killed everyone who knew. So a Puritan church is very black and white and very blank, so you can really focus. You know, and this whole, the Puritan movement, especially the kind of the people who came to the United States, and the kind of clothes, they wore the black and white and the hats and the buckled shoes and everything like that. Puritan Christianity is a lot of what settled New Zealand as well. Australia wasn't as free settled as New Zealand, and a lot more people who came here were more a different kind of economic class and a lot more Catholics. New Zealand suffers from a higher rate of sexual anxiety and guilt because of the latent effects of the genetics of that Puritan Christianity than Australia. You actually notice, if you look at it like that, you notice. So, what happens? Let's say you're 5 years old and you're getting into bed and grandma's there visiting, and she comes in to tuck you in and goes, "What are your arms doing under the covers?" And puts your arms on the covers, and you think that's weird, and she might tell you that it's not pure, perhaps, to sleep with your arms under the covers. There's all of these kind of intense projections, and people think they're doing the right thing to project this at young people, that your sexuality is something which is dirty and to feel shamed about. I mean, some languages around the world, the actual word for vagina is like shame zone or something like that. It's like, I think it's in German or something. So, and it's really, really, really effective. So compounding family guilt, that means that through time, on one thing on top of another, we become more guilty about our sexuality. A girl said to me the other day, she said, "Oh, I'm sorry to ask you that question, it's a bit wanky, wasn't it?" And I was like, "Wanky? Why'd you say that?" She's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Well, are you associating masturbation with something which is awkward or unwanted or not okay or shameful?" I'm like, what you're experiencing with your own sexuality is awesome, and that it's totally all good. And she wasn't really ready for that, but it's like we have all this terminology in our language around sexuality and shame, So it's very, very important to look at how we feel about our own sexualities and acknowledge that he goes, hey, this stops with me. I'm not going to pass this on. I'm not going to project this on to other people, other people's kids, my kids, whatever. And it's really an amazing thing, you know. So sometimes a lot of the release of these issues in ourselves is just by seeing them and going, oh, that's where that comes from. Cool, that's done. So one of the things that hypnotists find, mainstream hypnosis is pretty clinical, psychiatric kind of stuff. And one of the techniques they use is you just go witness the negative event. Some people will go to a past life or something like that. And well, mainstream doesn't acknowledge past lives, but let's say you go to a childhood issue and you're getting attacked by a dog, and you go like, oh, that's what happened. And you come back into present day, just your knowledge of your issue in the present that was caused by that, you just kind of go, oh, and you just have a full let go. It's gone. That's all it takes sometimes. So sometimes through this sort of information about, we all have weird emotions about sexuality and kind of go, where does that come from? We're in society, we're in my family, and maybe no one ever actually said anything to you or did anything to you, but these anxieties and these guilt trips are in our morphogenic field of our family, they're in our DNA. It's all optional. Again, DNA is a template that will just change if you want it to. Yeah? So don't ever think that, oh, I've got this genetic issue, and that's a really good thing to come up with here. So, Angelina Jolie, what did she do a couple of years ago? Anyone?
Did she get breast cancer?
Did she get breast cancer though?
I'm not sure.
No, she did it because it ran in her family and there was a high
That's
risk.
right. She was told she had a genetic marker in her family, and because breast cancer ran in her family, they should give her a double
mastectomy.
Thank you. Both breasts removed. And it could be a little agenda behind this. I'm going to just put this out there and say that it actually didn't happen. Because she's a celebrity and just has that quite a famous figure, they'll be like, the cancer industry would have approached her with a certain figure of money and said, if you say, when is the proof ever going to come out? If, whatever, Photoshop, doesn't matter. If you say that you've got this gene and that you got your breast removed because of it, she's like celebrity ads for women. How many women do you think went and got checked for that gene after that? Probably a couple, And how many of those women do you think got their breasts removed? Right? Probably a couple. So, 95% of illness is caused by environment, not genetics. 95% at least, right? There's a genetic marker, and they're saying you're going to maybe get cancer, probably get cancer. Probably it's so certain that you should probably get your breast removed. It's pretty serious stuff. However, in the reality of genetics and DNA, saying that a genetic marker is going to make you sick is completely bogus, right? Because you can literally change all that. When someone gets the difference between developing, getting a viral infection or a cancer or bacteria, when these things actually take hold in your body, the variable is not your genetics, it's your stress level, right? So when you master your stress level, your DNA is not going to be regulating. They talk about genes up-regulating and down-regulating. Your genes are going to up-regulate to a high level of health and longevity. So a genetic marker saying that something's going to happen is completely bogus, because a gene has 35,000 different variations and you can just turn them on and off by thinking good things or bad things. Yeah? They could have just given her a meditation exercise and gone, chill out a bit, make less movies, and you're going to speak, right? But that doesn't make much money for the cancer industry. So I am suggesting that the entire thing was a bust, completely, because there's no, how do you prove it? It's a good transaction, amazing. All right. Past stress. I guess we kind of mentioned that. So healing stress in the past, a lot of it is just really that whole letting go thing. And what is letting go? Like on a deepest level, what is letting go? When I started learning these sorts of healing modalities 10 years ago, I noticed some people going into some really serious serious memories in their regression. Really shockingly full-on things. And you're like, whoa, you know, that's serious, that's why you are the way you are in prison. Now when someone's brave enough and ready enough to go into these negative memories, something really profound happens. When they focus on the emotions and on the event, and they do the breath work of letting it all go, let us go up.